Hello and welcome everyone to our NetSuite 2025.2 release that we have titled AI Embedded Across the Suite. Before we kick off, we will start with a quick agenda here. So we'll have an introduction both to myself, OneKloudX and the webinars that we run. We'll then have a bit of a recap on the new release process before we jump into the main focus of today's webinar, which are the AI features that are embedded across NetSuite as part of the 2025.2 release. We will also have a section at the end around some additional non-AI features that are also coming out in 2025.2 before we wrap up with a Q&A. Now, the Q&A we will run at the end of the session. If you do have any questions throughout, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A box and I'll pick them up at the end of the session. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm seeing a lot of familiar as well as some new names today. But for those of you that don't know me, my name's Ross Johnston. I'm an account manager here at OneKloudX. My focus as an account manager is on maximizing your NetSuite usage and making sure that you are taking advantage of all of the features and functions that are available within your NetSuite environment. In terms of OneKloudX, we are a NetSuite solution provider. So we provide NetSuite implementation, support and development, including integrations, across our wide client base in Australia, New Zealand and beyond. As part of our service at OneKloudX, we provide our monthly OneKloudX user group webinars, or ONUG for short, which focus on maximizing NetSuite value and all of the features that you can be taken advantage of. Some recent webinars that we've hosted have included reporting and analytics, 360 dashboards, sticky notes and file drag and drop. If you are new to the webinars and were unable to attend those previous sessions, please feel free to stick a message in the comments just saying the phrase user guide, and we'll be more than happy to follow up after today's session and provide you a copy of all of the user guides from past webinars. Okay, so quick recap on the new release process. So for those of you that are already aware, some of you may not be if you're new to the NetSuite ecosystem, NetSuite has two major releases every year. Now, all customers are scheduled to be upgraded to the latest 2025.2 release between August and October. Now, this means that some of you may already be on 2025.2, whereas others will still be awaiting their upgrade. Your exact date of the upgrade is provided 3 weeks before the upgrade takes place. Typically, this takes place outside of business hours. NetSuite typically provides a 3 to 4 hour window for the upgrade, but in reality, it usually takes no more than 1 to 2 hours. Now, if the upgrade date doesn't suit for any reason, then you can request customer scheduled maintenance to change the upgrade date. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can find out information about the new release, one of which is adding the new release portlet to your home dashboard, which provides visibility of sneak peeks, release notes and test plans, and administrators can also request a release preview environment as well. So this is what the new release portlet looks like. So if you go into your NetSuite home dashboard, click on personalize, you can add the new release portlet to your dashboard. You'll see here that for the 2025.2 release, a lot of the focus is around the AI innovations and features that are available. You'll see here where I got the title for today's webinar, AI Embedded Across the Suite, but you'll see some visibility here as well as some links to the different release notes, blogs, release preview guides, training resources, and so on. You also see up in the top right-hand corner your upgrade date, so you have visibility of that as well. In terms of the release preview environment, the release preview provides a copy of your production environment in the latest release, which allows you to test new features and verify that any existing workflows or customizations function as expected. Now, in an administrator role, you would navigate to Setup, Company, Release Preview. You'll then be taken to the screen at the bottom there, where you will click the Request Release Preview button. Usually takes about 24 hours for that to be provisioned, at which point administrators of the system will receive an email letting them know that the release preview is ready to use and carry out any testing. Okay, so on to the focus of today's webinar, which is AI embedded across the suite. Now, starting off in terms of the AI features that are available as part of 2025.2, we'll be starting with the NetSuite AI Connector Service. Now, the NetSuite AI Connector Service is a protocol-driven integration service supporting Model Context Protocol, or MCP, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. But what this actually means in a real sense is NetSuite is providing an AI connector to allow you to have secure, flexible, and scalable ways to connect your own or choice of AI to your NetSuite environment. Now, with this strategy, it provides a long-term control over the AI strategy as these AI models and platforms and capabilities advance over time and evolve. NetSuite's Bring Your Own AI approach allows you to maintain that control, flexibility, and scalability as these AI models continue to increase in their evolution. So first of all, we'll start off with the NetSuite AI Connector Service setup. So this is something that is available already. It's something that you can set up. I do have a demo account set up with the AI connector, so I'll get to that in a moment. But starting off with some brief setup instructions on how you can use the NetSuite AI connector. So first of all, with any new feature or technology, we do recommend that you review any associated risks, controls, and mitigation strategies. NetSuite does provide this on the NetSuite Help, so there is an article there. But once you've done that, you can then proceed with enabling the required features and role permissions to allow you to set up access. In terms of the enabled features, there's only a couple there, which are the server suite script and OAuth 2.0. And for the role permissions, you do need to set up a custom role to be able to connect with the AI. But the permissions on that role are the MCP server connection and the login using OAuth 2.0 access tokens permission as well. Now, once you've done that, you can then go ahead and install the MCP sample tool SuiteApp from the SuiteApp marketplace. And then you can go ahead and connect your NetSuite environment through the AI Connector Service. Just now, the supported AI is Claude.ai. So that's going to be the one that I'm using an example of here. But we are expecting more AI models to be supported in the future. Now, of course, all of these steps have been summarized. So there's some kind of sub-steps in there. If you do have any questions about that, please feel free to get in touch with myself after this webinar and happy to discuss further. Okay, so we're going to jump in to our NetSuite AI Connector Service demo. Again, as we go through this, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A or chat box, and we can pick them up towards the end of the session. So you see here, I am currently logged in to Claude.ai, which is the AI service that is currently supported with the NetSuite connector. And before we get into asking it some questions, I'm just going to show you a little bit of the setup here. So if I navigate to our settings and connectors, we can see here that we have got our NetSuite connector set up. I've currently got this set up to a demo environment. If we go into configure, we can see the different tools that are currently available. Now, as this is a sample MCP for the time being, it doesn't support the full NetSuite database, but it gives enough visibility across so that you can start to see and test how this is going to work in practice. You see here that we've got the likes of searching customers, updating customers, getting customer transaction information, balance information, item details, inventory details, and sales orders. So just now, these samples are very much based on sales and inventory as well as customer information. Just one thing to flag, you'll see here that for some of them, it does have to be the American date format, so month, days, years, but again, something that we are expecting to be upgraded over time. So if I just jump back into our new chat, this is where we can go ahead and start to ask our AI just conversational questions in natural language and have that link to our NetSuite environment to provide us with any responses. So if I go ahead and type in, who are my top 5 customers, 2025 year to date, as with any chat, we ask the question, it starts looking through the data. And with Claude, we can actually see the different queries that are being run here. So the first query is generating the sales report, so analyzing the information to work out who those top 5 customers are. The second query that is running after that is looking into the customer details. So now that it's identified those top 5 customers, it's then going to look into those 5 customer records to then allow a summary of the different customer details there, which it's going to produce, hopefully, once we have finished that query. Now, from here, we can see this has summarized directly from the NetSuite demo account that I've currently got it connected to. And we can see our top 5 customers here, as well as some high-level information on the sales figure, the contact in terms of the email address and the phone number. So we've got that full visibility of those top 5 customers, as well as how much of the total year-to-date sales they represent. In this demo account, 53.1%. Now, from there, you can, of course, go ahead and ask further questions, follow-up questions, ask for more detail, which I'll show you an example of in one of my recent chats. As you can see, I have been testing this out with a couple of different queries. Now, we asked the same question here. So in terms of our top 5 customers, we got the results, and then we've actually gone ahead and asked if we can put this into a report. Now, what Claude has then done is analysed that information further, again, giving us that summary of the contact details and information of our top 5 customers, but then provided more of a financial analysis breakdown, risk assessment and recommendations, as well as some key observations there. So you see from a financial analysis perspective, it's broken down the top 5 customers. It's given us the total revenue of those customers, the total percentage of sales, as well as the cumulative percentage of sales across those customers as well. Now, beyond that, it's also given us visibility of some risks and recommendations. So given that this is a demo account that we are connected to, as expected, it doesn't have too wide a range of data. So this integration here has actually recognized that our top 5 customers represent nearly half of our total revenue, and we are overly dependent on Red Technology and Johnston Supplies, who account for a quarter of all of our sales. We've also seen here that we are getting warnings around credit exposure. So 3 of our customers have substantially high credit limits when compared to their sales volume as well. Now, from those customer concentration risks, we also have key observations that have been generated there. So again, showing that all top 5 customers were established in 2025, showing that we've got strong growth. Some information there in terms of the payment terms and credit management, as well as some more strategic recommendations that have all been recommended by simply asking Claude, can you put this into a report for us? Now, these recommendations are around diversification, which of course we would expect if our top 5 customers are accounting for around half of our sales, but then also a focus on account management, so making sure that these important customers are looked after by a dedicated account manager. We've also got credit monitoring, so it has seen that for one of the customers, KOC Technologies, that there is a little bit of risk around the credit limits there compared to their sales volumes. And then again, further recommendations on strengthening the relationships and as growing opportunities as well by analysing our success with these customers. In terms of next steps, we can also see the next steps as well, all recommended based on this question of putting this into a report. So scheduling quarterly business reviews, conducting a credit review of KOC Technologies, developing a customer retention strategy for these high value accounts, but then also analysing our product mix and margins for these key customers. So of course, at the moment, we have highlighted the different configuration options that are available, the different tools and queries that can currently be run using the Claude AI connector with your NetSuite environment. And hopefully those examples show the power of how this can be used. And yes, we are excited for this to be rolled out across the full database. And of course, at OneKloudX, we'll keep you posted on any enhancements or any news that is filtered through the channel on that. Okay, so just jump back to our slide deck. So next up, in terms of the AI that's been embedded across the suite, we have got the NetSuite Expert and SuiteAnswers. Now, this is something that you might have already seen as it did become available around July, start of August. Basically, the NetSuite Expert is an enhancement to SuiteAnswers. A reminder for those of you that may need it, SuiteAnswers is a self-help tool which allows you to go and ask questions and be able to see different results from NetSuite's database of answers and documents for what you may be asking. Now, with NetSuite Expert, this is SuiteAnswers AI Assistant, which uses retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. Again, it's a bit of a mouthful, as these AI terms tend to be, but what that effectively means is with SuiteAnswers, you can now ask questions in natural language and receive AI-generated summarized results. As mentioned, there has been a global rollout of NetSuite Expert, so this is available just now in your account without taking any additional action. Again, we will just jump in for a quick demonstration of the NetSuite Expert. So if we go into our demo account, we can navigate to SuiteAnswers by going to Support and then clicking on Go to SuiteAnswers. So that navigation hasn't changed. If that's something that you are unfamiliar with, again, SuiteAnswers is a great database to be able to find out information and see help articles about NetSuite. But I'm just going to go ahead here and ask, how do I set up a custom role? So again, with SuiteAnswers, this is functionality that was always available where we can search across the different help topics. But the NetSuite Expert is what has come in recently, and we can now see an AI-generated summary of all of the help articles. Now, again, this is another way that AI has been embedded across the suite, in this case to allow us quicker and easier access instead of navigating through the individual help articles and guidance that are available. NetSuite Expert is going to provide us that AI summary, but we still maintain the link to the different help articles as well if we want to drill in and see some further information on those. So back to our slides. We've already done the demo there of the NetSuite Expert. And on to the next AI feature is text enhanced translations. Now, Text Enhance was previously rolled out, providing functionality to generate, clean up, shorten, and lengthen text across standard and custom fields. As of 2025.2, this has been enhanced further with the Text Enhanced Translate feature, which now lets you translate content into the supported languages for the tool. Now, effectively, what that means is you can collaborate more effectively in a global environment and also more effectively communicate with your customers by using the text enhanced translations. Now, here's an example of how the text enhanced translations work. You'll see up the top, I have entered in a sales description where I've just typed in this as a sales description. I've then clicked on the text enhance button there and then selected the option to translate to and selected through the different languages there. Now, for those of you that know me, it probably won't surprise you that I can't actually speak French, German, Italian, Japanese, Portuguese, or Spanish to validate these translations. But I did check with one of my French-speaking colleagues, and apparently the text enhanced translation was accurate, so that's a good sign. And for the other languages there, I also did a quick check on Google Translate, and they all seemed to be accurate, which again is a good sign going forward for this functionality. So with the text enhanced translations, there's no particular features that should need to be enabled. If you already have text enhanced, then the translate to option should show in your environment to allow you to translate to those supported languages. Okay, so moving on from the AI embedded across the suite, we're going to be talking about some more of the additional 2025.2 features. Starting off, we've got the enhanced Customer 360 dashboard. So for those of you that joined the webinar a few months ago now around the Dashboard 360 views that are available with NetSuite, you may remember the Customer 360 dashboard. Now, in terms of a little bit of a recap on that, the Customer 360 provides a comprehensive 360 view of your customer. That includes recent transactions, sales performance, top-selling items, as well as some AI-powered product recommendations. Now, what this means is there is a tool directly within NetSuite that allows you to maintain an accurate view of your customer relationships, monitoring those performances with customers, as well as identifying opportunities through the AI-driven product recommendations. Now, again, one of the great things about this feature is there is no installation required. There's no additional module or feature or subscription that you need. This is simply available on your customer record so that you can have this visibility into your customers. In terms of the Customer 360 enhancements, there's some new features to the Customer 360 that improves the visibility as well as that direct access to the customer data across various touch points. There's been quite a few enhancements here on the Customer 360, which shows NetSuite's commitment to making this functionality as useful as possible, so you know exactly what makes your customers tick and allows you to identify any opportunities going forward. Now, those key enhancements are across the opportunities and estimates, orders and returns, receivables, as well as new activity. Basically, to summarize those enhancements, there's going to be more direct links to the SuiteAnalytics workbooks. So again, a feature that's available in NetSuite, the SuiteAnalytics workbooks. There's various different workbooks available across these key data points for your customers. But if you do need to also create your own workbooks and data sets, then that's something that you can do with the Analytics workbooks functionality. Again, we provided a webinar, I think towards the end of 2024, which went through this functionality in a bit more detail. So again, if you did miss out on any of those previous webinars, please feel free to drop a comment saying user guide in the chat, and we will be more than happy to follow up with those user guides after today's session. So in terms of additional features that are of note, we have also got the multiple NetSuite sessions per user. So as some of you have probably experienced, much to your frustration, I imagine, previously NetSuite only supported one session per user, which meant that if you were logging in on a different device or a different browser, then you would be automatically logged out of your current session. As of 2025.2, NetSuite now supports multiple sessions per single user. Now, what this means in essence is you can be logged into NetSuite on up to 3 devices or browsers at the same time. So say, for example, you're logged in on NetSuite on your desktop, but want to be logged in on a mobile or tablet device, you can now do that concurrently without being logged out of the first session on the other device there as well. So a pretty small enhancement, but something that is going to be useful, as I'm sure you can imagine. So moving on from that, we've also got a new project manager role that has been released through the Specialised User Project Manager role. Now, those of you that have been keeping up to date with the previous releases, you will have seen that there's been a few of these specialised users that have been released in recent times, notably the specialised user for CRM and the View and Approve specialised user. But as of 2025.2, there will also be the project manager specialised user, which will have predefined permissions which grant access to some of the main project management features across the ability to manage projects, resources, time and expenses, as well as other transactions that are related to projects in NetSuite. And beyond that, there really is a lot more in the 2025.2 release. To summarise some of the key features here, we've got some improvements to duplicate detection. We've got some enhancements across WMS, supply planning, supply allocation, SCM mobile and quality management, as well as some new software as a service metrics and 360 dashboard that is available as of 2025.2. Now, of course, with all of the new features that come out with 2025.2, I'm not going to be able to discuss all of those. So I also like to point you towards some of the new release information sources. So as mentioned, we've got the likes of the new release portlet, as well as the release preview account, which the new release portlet can be added to your dashboard, and the release preview account can be requested by somebody with administrator role. But beyond that, there's various different ways that you can see information about the new release, whether that's through the sneak peeks and blogs, NetSuite's help, which has a what's new section, as well as looking into the release notes themselves. Now, again, there's typically around 50 to 70 pages of release notes. So if that's not something that you're wanting to do yourself, then you can absolutely reach out to me directly, and I'd be more than happy to set up a call to go through the new features that are specific to you as a business or the industry that you operate in. Beyond that, we have obviously discussed earlier on the SuiteAnswers NetSuite Expert. Within SuiteAnswers, there are lots of new feature videos. So if you navigate to SuiteAnswers, you'll also be able to see some of the key features that have been demonstrated by NetSuite, again, to make sure you know what's coming. But beyond, obviously, all of the self-help tools at OneKloudX, we are here to help. So if you do have any questions, then please feel free to reach out, and I'd be more than happy to discuss at length. Thanks a lot, everyone, for attending. It's been great to have you all here. And please join us live for our webinar next month. We are in the process of locking in our next topic. We are looking at hosting a webinar but as part of one of our upcoming webinars on Causey, which is another AI tool that is available for NetSuite. So please look out for that in the future. But yeah, we will be in touch with our future webinar topics and look forward to see you all joining in the future.